The champagne bottle was cold and heavy in my hands. I stood in the corner of the ballroom wearing a white serving shirt that was 2 sizes too big, watching my stepmother Claudia laugh with her country club friends. She didn't look at me once. To her, I was just the help. What she didn't know was that in exactly 4 hours, I would be standing on a stage 3 blocks away, launching a company that would make her charity gala look like a yard sale. My name is Arlene Whitmore. I'm 28 years old, and I spent the last 6 years building something that nobody in this room thought I could. Tonight, Claudia demanded I serve drinks at her Spring Foundation benefit. She said family helps family. What she meant was that I was the free labor she could bully into compliance. I should have said no, but I wanted to see her face when she realized the truth. So I smiled, put on the ugly shirt, and showed up with a tray. It started 3 weeks ago. I was in my apartment finalizing the press release for Pixel Bridge, the app development platform I had been coding since college. We had secured $3 million in series of funding. The launch event was scheduled for April 12th at the Grandview Hotel. Big investors, tech journalists, the whole production. My phone rang. It was Claudia. She didn't say hello. She just started talking like I had been waiting by the phone for her call. "Arlene, darling, I need you for the gala," she said. Her voice was sweet but had that edge that meant refusal wasn't an option. "The catering company cancelled last minute. I need someone I can trust to help coordinate the drink service. You're good at organizing things, aren't you?" I bit my tongue. Good at organizing things. I had organized a software development team across 3 countries. But sure, I could pour wine. "When is it?" I asked, already knowing the answer would ruin something. "April 12th, 7 o'clock. It's at the Grandview Hotel. The Crystal Ballroom. It's our biggest event of the year. You understand how important this is." My blood went cold. The Grandview Hotel. The same building where my launch was happening. My event was in the main conference hall on the 2nd floor at 11. Hers was in the ballroom on the 3rd floor. "I can't," I said. "I have something that night." "Cancel it," Claudia said. It wasn't a request. "Arlene, this is for the Children's Hospital. Don't be selfish. What could you possibly have that's more important than charity?" I could have told her. I could have said I was launching a tech company that had taken every hour of my life for 6 years. But I knew what she would say. She would laugh. She would tell me to be realistic. She would remind me that my father married her because she brought class and connections to his life, and I brought him disappointment. I had learned a long time ago that arguing with Claudia was like arguing with a brick wall that somehow always made you feel guilty. So I made a decision. A calculated, slightly insane decision. "Fine," I said. "I'll be there." "Wonderful," Claudia said. She sounded genuinely pleased, which was rare. "Wear something plain. Your staff, not a guest. And Arlene, don't embarrass me." She hung up. I sat there staring at my phone. My business partner, Monica, walked into the room carrying coffee. She took one look at my face and said, "What happened?" "Change of plans," I said. "I'm going to serve drinks at my stepmother's party for 3 hours, then run downstairs and launch a company. Think I can pull it off?" Monica blinked. Then she started laughing. Not polite laughter. The kind of laughter that meant she thought I had lost my mind. "You're serious?" "Completely. Let me explain how I got here. My father, Richard Whitmore, died 4 years ago. He was a patent attorney, smart and kind but terrible at seeing people for who they really were. He married Claudia 2 years after my mother passed. I was 16. Claudia came with a daughter, Vanessa, who was my age. Vanessa was everything Claudia wanted me to be. Pretty, social, engaged to a lawyer. I was the weird kid who took apart computers and didn't go to sorority mixers. My father loved me, but he never really understood me. When he got sick, I took a semester off from college to help. Claudia didn't. She was busy planning fundraisers. When he died, He left the house to Claudia and a trust fund to me. The trust had conditions. I could access it when I turned 30, or earlier if I demonstrated financial responsibility. Claudia was the trustee. She denied every request I made. I asked for money to pay off student loans. Denied. I asked for money to invest in a startup accelerator. Denied. I asked for money to rent office space when Pixelbridge started getting serious. Denied. You need to prove you can manage money first, Claudia said every time. Your father wanted you to be stable. What my father actually wanted was for me to be happy. But his will gave Claudia the power, and she used it like a weapon. So I did it the hard way. I worked 3 jobs. I coded at night. I lived in a studio apartment with a roommate who snored. I ate ramen and learned to pitch investors with nothing but a demo and a dream. And it worked. Pixelbridge got into an accelerator. We got users. We got attention. We got funding. I did it without Claudia, without the trust, without any help from the family that was supposed to support me. And now, I was going to launch it in the same building where she was throwing a party. The day of April 12th arrived. I woke up at 5 in the morning. My stomach was a knot of nerves and caffeine. I went for a run to clear my head, then spent 2 hours going over my presentation. Monica came over at noon. She was my co-founder, the business strategist to my technical brain. She was also the only person who knew the full plan for tonight. You packed the change of clothes? She asked. I pointed to the garment bag hanging on the door. Inside was a black dress, heels, and the blazer I planned to wear on stage. And you're sure you can pull this off? Monica asked. She wasn't doubting me. She was just worried. I have to, I said. If I don't show up to Claudia's thing, she'll find a way to ruin the launch. She knows people at the Grandview. She could cause problems. She's that petty. She once uninvited me from Thanksgiving because I corrected her about the year my father graduated college. At 6 o'clock, I arrived at the Grandview Hotel. The building was gorgeous, all glass and marble. I checked in with the event coordinator for my launch, a woman named Iris who was handling the setup. Everything's ready, Iris said. The AV is tested, the catering is set, and the guest list is confirmed. You're going to kill it, Arlene. Thanks, I said. I'll be back at 10:30 to get ready. Where are you going? Family obligation, I said. I didn't explain. I took the elevator to the 3rd floor. The crystal ballroom was already buzzing with activity. Round tables with white linens, flower centerpieces, a small stage with a podium. Claudia stood in the center, directing staff like a general. She saw me and frowned. You're late. I'm early, I said. The event starts at 7. It's 6:15. Early is on time. On time is late, Claudia said. She looked me up and down. That shirt is wrinkled. I had ironed the shirt. It was perfect. But arguing was pointless. I'll fix it, I said. Claudia handed me a clipboard. Here's the drink menu. You'll be stationed at the West Bar. Smile, be polite, and stay out of the way. Some very important people are coming tonight. Got it, I said. I took the clipboard and walked to the bar. The bartender, a guy named Joel, looked at me with sympathy. First time working one of these? He asked. Something like that, I said. Any advice? Keep your head down and remember that rich people tip terribly. I laughed. For the next hour, I prepped glassware and memorized the drink list. Vanessa, Claudia's daughter, arrived at 6:45. She was wearing a pink dress that probably cost more than my rent. She saw me behind the bar and her eyes went wide. Oh my God, Arlene, are you working here? She asked. She didn't sound mean. She sounded genuinely confused. Helping out, I said. Your mom needed extra hands. That's so sweet of you, Vanessa said. She didn't get it. She didn't understand that I wasn't here out of kindness. I was here because refusing Claudia meant war, and I couldn't afford a war tonight. The guests started arriving at 7. They were exactly what I expected. Women in expensive jewelry, men in tailored suits, everyone holding wine glasses like they were accessories. Claudia worked the room like a politician, shaking hands and laughing at jokes that probably weren't funny. I poured drinks and smiled. A woman ordered a martini, extra dry. A man wanted scotch, neat. Another woman asked for champagne but sent it back because it wasn't cold enough. I replaced it without comment. This was the world Claudia loved. The world where she mattered. Where people listened when she spoke. It was the world I had never fit into, and I had stopped trying years ago. At 8 o'clock, Claudia took the stage. She gave a speech about the children's hospital, about generosity and community. People clapped. The donation envelopes were passed around. I watched from behind the bar, checking my watch every 5 minutes. At 9, I was supposed to sneak out. Monica was covering for me at the launch setup, but I needed to be there by 10:30 to go over final details. The night dragged. My feet hurt. My face hurt from smiling. And then, at 8:45, everything went sideways. A woman approached the bar. She was older, probably 60, with sharp eyes and a tailored navy suit. She ordered a glass of white wine. I poured it and handed it to her. "Thank you," she said. Then she paused. "Wait. Arlene Whitmore." I froze. I looked at her face. It took me a second, but I recognized her. Patricia Blackwell. She was a venture capitalist, one of the investors who had turned me down 2 years ago. "Ms. Blackwell," I said. My voice was steady, but my brain was screaming. "I almost didn't recognize you," Patricia said. "What are you doing here?" "Helping with the event," I said. It wasn't a lie. "I didn't know you were involved with the Spring Foundation," Patricia said. She sounded curious, not judgmental. "Family connection," I said. "My stepmother is the chair." "Claudia Whitmore is your stepmother?" Patricia asked. She looked surprised. Small world. I nodded. I wanted to end this conversation before it went further. But Patricia wasn't done. "I heard you got funding for Pixel Bridge," she said. "Congratulations. I regretted passing on your seed round." "Thank you," I said. "Actually, the launch is tonight. Downstairs. 11 o'clock. Patricia's eyebrows went up. "Tonight. And you're here pouring drinks." I didn't have a good answer for that. Patricia looked at me for a long moment. Then she smiled. "You're tougher than I thought, Arlene Whitmore. Good luck." She walked away. I exhaled. At 9:15, I told Joel I needed a break. He nodded. I slipped out of the ballroom and took the stairs down to the second floor. The conference hall was transformed. There was a stage with our logo projected on the screen, rows of chairs, tables with demo stations. It looked professional. It looked real. Monica saw me and rushed over. "How's it going up there?" she asked. "Exhausting," I said. "But I'm almost done. Another hour and I'm free." "The press is already here," Monica said. TechWave, Startup Weekly, and someone from the Wall Street Journal. "Arlene, this is huge." I felt the nerves kick in. This was real. This was happening. "I need to change," I said. Monica handed me the garment bag. I went to the bathroom and swapped the white serving shirt for the black dress and blazer. I fixed my hair and put on lipstick. When I looked in the mirror, I didn't see the girl pouring drinks upstairs. I saw the founder I had worked 6 years to become. At 10 o'clock, I went back upstairs. The gala was winding down. Dessert had been served. People were mingling, saying their goodbyes. Claudia was near the door, thanking guests as they left. I slipped back behind the bar. Joel gave me a look. "You changed clothes." "Long story," I said. At 10:30, Claudia approached the bar. She looked tired but satisfied. Good work tonight, Arlene, she said. It was the closest thing to a compliment I had ever gotten from her. Thank you, I said. You can go, Claudia said. We're almost done here. Actually, I need to head out now, I said. Claudia frowned. Now? We still have guests. I have something I need to do, I said. Something important. Claudia's expression shifted. The warmth disappeared. What could be more important than this? I took a breath. This was the moment. I'm launching my company tonight, I said. Downstairs. In about 20 minutes. Claudia stared at me. For a second, I thought she didn't understand. Then she laughed. It was a short, sharp sound. You're joking. I'm not, I said. Pixelbridge. It's a software development platform. We got $3 million in funding. The launch event is happening right now on the second floor. Claudia's face went through several emotions. Confusion, disbelief, and then something that looked like anger. You've been working on this while you were supposed to be here? I was here, I said. I did what you asked. But I'm done now. You embarrassed me, Claudia hissed. Her voice was low, but the venom was clear. You made me look like a fool, using my event as a cover for your little project. It's not a little project, I said. My voice was calm, but my hands were shaking. It's my life's work. And you're not the center of my universe, Claudia. Her face went red. People were starting to look. Vanessa appeared at her mother's side, confused. Mom, what's going on? Your sister, Claudia spat the word like it was poison, has been lying to us. I didn't lie, I said. I just didn't tell you. Same thing, Claudia snapped. She turned to Vanessa. Did you know about this? Vanessa looked at me, then at her mother. No, I didn't. Claudia turned back to me. You used me. You used my event, my connections, my venue. I used nothing, I said. I paid for my own event. I booked my own space. I did this without you. That's the problem, Claudia said. Her voice was shaking now. You think you're so independent. You think you don't need this family. But you do. You'll fail, Arlene. And when you do, don't come crawling back to me. The words should have hurt. A year ago, they would have destroyed me. But tonight, standing in my dress with my launch happening downstairs, they just rolled off. I'm not going to fail, I said. And I won't be crawling anywhere. I'm done letting you make me feel small. I walked away. I didn't wait for her response. I took the elevator down to the second floor. My heart was pounding so hard I thought it might explode. Monica was waiting backstage. She took one look at my face and said, "What happened?" I told her, I said. And she called it a little project and said I'd fail. Monica's jaw tightened. Then let's prove her wrong. The event hall was full. Investors, press, potential clients. Over 200 people. I could see Patricia Blackwell in the third row. I could see faces I recognized from pitch meetings, from networking events, from the years of grinding. Iris gave me the signal. It was time. I walked onto the stage. The lights were bright. The room went quiet. I looked out at the audience, took a breath, and began. Good evening. My name is Arlene Whitmore, and I'm the founder and CEO of Pixelbridge. The presentation was 30 minutes. I talked about the problem we were solving, the technology we had built, and the vision for the future. I showed demos, user testimonials, and growth projections. My voice was steady. My hands didn't shake. When I finished, the room erupted in applause. Questions came from the audience. Smart questions, tough questions. I answered every one. A journalist asked about funding. I explained our Series A round and our plans for scaling. An investor asked about competition. I walked through our differentiators and market positioning. Patricia Blackwell raised her hand. Arlene, I have a question. How did you build this with so little initial capital? I smiled. I worked 3 jobs, lived cheap, and didn't take no for an answer. I didn't have family money or a trust fund to fall back on. I had a laptop and a lot of stubbornness. The room laughed. Patricia nodded, a look of respect on her face. After the Q&A, people swarmed the stage. Business cards, handshakes, congratulations. Monica was glowing. An hour later, the crowd thinned. I was exhausted, exhilarated, and slightly in shock. Monica grabbed my arm. Arlene, you need to see this. She pulled me over to her laptop. On the screen was a live blog post from TechWave. The headline read, "Pixelbridge launches with strong backing and bold vision." Below it was a photo of me on stage. I read the first paragraph. Arlene Whitmore, 28, introduced Pixelbridge tonight with the confidence of a seasoned CEO. Her platform promises to democratize app development, and if tonight's demo is any indication, she has the technical chops to deliver. I felt tears prick my eyes. Monica hugged me. You did it, she whispered. We did it, I corrected. My phone buzzed. It was a text from Vanessa. Arlene, I don't know what happened with Mom, but I looked up your company. It's amazing. I'm proud of you. I stared at the message. Vanessa had never said she was proud of me. I typed back, thank you. The next morning, I woke up to 47 emails, 12 missed calls, and a headache. But I felt lighter than I had in years. I made coffee and opened my laptop. The press coverage was better than we had hoped. 3 major tech outlets covered the launch. Our website traffic was up 600%. And we had 5 new investor inquiries. Monica called at 9. Have you seen the news? I'm reading it now, I said. We're trending on Twitter, Monica said. She sounded like she couldn't believe it. The hashtag is Pixelbridge launch. People are talking about you, about the story, about everything. I opened Twitter. She was right. The story had caught fire. Not just the tech, but the narrative. Founder launches company hours after serving drinks at Stepmother's gala, was the angle everyone loved. Someone had dug up the connection between Claudia's event and my launch. They had put together the timeline. I scrolled through the comments. Most were supportive. Some were skeptical. A few were brutal. At noon, my phone rang. It was a number I didn't recognize. I answered. Arlene Whitmore. Arlene, this is Patricia Blackwell. I sat up straight. Ms. Blackwell. Hello. I wanted to reach out personally, Patricia said. After seeing your launch and reading the coverage, I'd like to revisit a conversation. Would you be open to meeting this week? Absolutely, I said. We scheduled a lunch for Thursday. After we hung up, I sat there staring at my phone. Patricia Blackwell wanted to invest. The woman who had passed on my seed round was coming back. At 2 o'clock, there was a knock on my door. I wasn't expecting anyone. I opened it. It was Vanessa. She was holding a bouquet of flowers. Hey, she said. She looked nervous. Can I come in? I stepped aside. She walked into my apartment and looked around. It was small, cluttered with tech equipment and whiteboards covered in code. This is where you built Pixelbridge? Vanessa asked. Most of it, I said. The rest happened in coffee shops and co-working spaces. Vanessa set the flowers on the counter. I wanted to apologize, she said. For what? For not knowing, Vanessa said. For not asking. For not seeing how hard you were working. I didn't know what to say. Vanessa and I had never been close. We were civil but distant. You don't need to apologize, I said. Yes, I do, Vanessa said. My mom has been awful to you. I knew it, and I didn't say anything because it was easier to stay out of it. That was wrong. I looked at her. She meant it. Thank you, I said. For what it's worth, I think what you did last night was incredible, Vanessa said. Serving drinks and then launching a company in the same building? That's legend status. I laughed. It was insane. It was brilliant, Vanessa corrected. She paused. Mom is furious, by the way. She saw the articles. She's convinced you did this to humiliate her. I did it for me, I said. Not to her. I know, Vanessa said. But she won't see it that way. 2 days later, I got a call from Claudia's lawyer. He informed me that Claudia was requesting a formal review of my trust fund access. She claimed I had demonstrated financial irresponsibility by starting a risky business. I wasn't surprised. I called my own lawyer, a sharp woman named Heather who had helped me structure Pixelbridge's legal foundation. Can she do this? I asked. She can request a review, Heather said. But given that you just secured $3 million in funding and launched a company with significant press attention, I'd say you have a strong case for demonstrating financial responsibility. What do I need to do? Show up to the hearing and bring documentation. Your funding agreements, your business plan, your projections. Make the case that you're not reckless. You're an entrepreneur. The hearing was scheduled for 2 weeks later. I spent the time preparing, working, and trying not to think about Claudia's next move. The Thursday lunch with Patricia Blackwell was everything I hoped. She offered to lead a follow-on funding round. She introduced me to 2 other investors. She became an advisor. The trust fund hearing happened on a cold morning in May. I wore my launch blazer. Claudia wore pearls and a look of absolute confidence. The arbitrator was a retired judge named Mr. Callahan. He listened to Claudia's argument first. She claimed I was reckless, that I had quit stable jobs to chase a fantasy, that I had no real income. Then it was my turn. I presented the funding agreements, the press coverage, the revenue projections. I explained the market, the technology, and the plan for growth. I showed him letters of support from investors, including Patricia Blackwell. When I finished, Mr. Callahan looked at Claudia. Ms. Whitmore, it appears your stepdaughter has built a legitimate, funded business. On what grounds are you claiming financial irresponsibility? Claudia stammered. She's not stable. She's impulsive. Impulsive. Mr. Callahan repeated. He gestured to my documents. This is 6 years of work. That's not impulsive. That's dedication. The hearing ended. Mr. Callahan ruled in my favor. The trust was released. I walked out of that building with access to my father's money I no longer even needed. 6 months later, Pixelbridge hit 1 million users. We were profitable. We were growing. We were hiring. I moved into a real office with a view. I hired a team. I spoke at conferences. One evening, I was at a tech industry gala. Not as staff. As a guest. A keynote speaker, actually. I saw Claudia across the room. She was there with Vanessa, who had started volunteering with a non-profit I supported. Our eyes met. Claudia looked away first. I didn't gloat. I didn't feel the need to. I had spent so many years wanting her approval, wanting her to see me. But I didn't need it anymore. I had built something real. I had proven myself, not to her, but to me. After my speech, Patricia Blackwell found me. You know, Arlene, the night I saw you behind that bar, I almost didn't say anything. I'm glad I did. Me too, I said. You've come a long way from serving drinks, Patricia said. I smiled. I'd do it again if I had to. But I'm glad I don't have to. That night, I went home to my apartment. I looked at the framed photo on my desk. It was me and my father, taken a year before he died. He was smiling. I liked to think he'd be proud. I opened my laptop and started working on the next product launch. Because this was just the beginning.